Hey everybody, welcome to Big Valley Living. I'm Michelle and JJ's filming me tonight. We have been invited by Renee at Pike Creek Farm to participate in the 12 Days of Indulgence collaboration. It's going to be going on from December 5th through the December 16th. There are 26 amazing channels in this collaboration and you won't want to miss anybody's videos. I will put a playlist and a link to all of the channels below in the description, so make sure to go and watch their videos, comment on every one of them, because on December 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Renee's going to be holding a live session on YouTube, and she'll be picking two winners. One will be getting a charcuterie board, and one person is going to win an apron. If you don't live in the US and you happen to win because of the comment that you leave, then you will receive an Amazon gift card for the same value. So be sure to watch everybody's channels, make a really nice comment at the bottom, and let's get on to our recipe. We're going to make a family favorite of ours that, of all places, we got off of the back of a Ritz box back in either the very late 70s or possibly the early 80s. And I actually just ran across the original card here about a week ago when I was contacting my brother to get the recipe, because he's the one who perfected it. So thank you, Stephen, very much, and I'm really glad that I found the original back of that Ritz box. This is called Fiesta Spread, and it's just, it comes together in probably about 15 minutes, because all you're doing is browning hamburger, onion, and garlic, throwing in some beans and spices and peppers, and topping it all with cheese. You can serve it on sliced vegetables like bell pepper slices, or obviously Ritz Crackers. So let's get going. I started browning my ground beef over medium heat, a little bit to the high side, but not too crazy, and broke it up. So now that it's about halfway finished, I'm going to go ahead and it calls for a half a cup of chopped onion. I just use a half of a yellow onion, so it's more than a half a cup. A tablespoon of fresh minced garlic, and we're going to let those flavors bloom for just a moment. 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, there's a little bit of garlic in there, and a teaspoon of sea salt. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those and that little tiny piece of garlic in there. Okay, get everything mixed together nicely. And you don't want it too high because you want the onions to get soft, but you don't want them to be completely mushy. We have about, I don't know, a quarter of a red bell pepper, about a quarter of an orange bell pepper, about a quarter of a yellow bell pepper, and about a half of a small green bell pepper. This pan is a 10-inch nonstick pan, and it is going to get full, but we're almost done with our ingredients. Once all of this is heated through, and well, first of all, once the hamburger is all cooked and it's heated through, we're going to be adding the rest of the ingredients, putting it into our serving dish, and that's it. So I'm telling you guys, super simple, absolutely delicious, never fails to please. Very, very indulgent, wouldn't you say, JJ?
It's my guilty pleasure.
See you in a second. This has all been heating through for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I was just preparing the rest of the bell pepper slices, actually, so that if you wanted a low carb delivery for the dip, or spread, I guess they call it. We call it a dip. Anyway, if you want a low calorie option, you can just use some vegetable slices, and bell peppers are actually a really nice match. All right, the next ingredient is squeezy ketchup, about 2 teaspoons of ketchup. So I'm gonna go squeezy, squeezy. That might be a little bit more, but that's okay. Just adds to the sauce. And then this is optional, but go ahead and throw in a hot sauce of your choice. We like Cholula, But believe me, we have every brand in the world. Tapatio and Tabasco. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and mix all this in together. It smells very good. And of course, all the spices, you know, are optional. Make sure to put your chili powder and cumin and the garlic in there. But you can adjust the quantities to your liking. Kind of moving that pan all over, guys. Okay, so the meat is all cooked through. Everything's nice and hot in here. I've got the sauces completely incorporated. JJ, you like it kind of spicy, so me too. I'm adding a little more hot sauce because our family likes to have that flavor, and I'm actually going to be sharing this with family in a little while when we're done. Yeah, that's nice. That smells perfect. A 16-ounce can of refried beans. We just use regular Rosarita refried beans. I took them out of the can because you never know how easy or difficult it's going to be to get them out, and then mash them down just a tiny bit. And the idea here is to incorporate all of these things together. It takes a minute because the beans have to soften up. But if you just take the meat like I'm doing and sort of fold it over the top, it'll help them to soften up quicker. And I'm going to continue to do that before placing it into the serving dish. Everything's mixed together, and I let it cook through for about 5 minutes. Well, actually a little less than that because the stove is nice and warm. And I'm going to do a quick taste test to make sure that we like the spice level. I know exactly what our family likes, so perfect. You can use an 8x8 dish. You can use a nice retro dish that you might have around from your mother or grandmother. I'm using a Pampered Chef Rock Crock because it can be put into the refrigerator if we have any left over and then reheated either in the microwave or in the oven on low. And it holds as much as this pan, so it works out pretty well. It also has a glass lid to cover it up if you're going in travel, and it has a neat little cover. So this makes sense if you're going to take this to a party with your family. Okay, last thing we're gonna do is sprinkle some freshly grated cheese on top. We use sharp cheddar cheese, which was called for in the original recipe, although they called for a lot less than we use. We use about 2 cups. And if you can get a finely shredded cheese or shred it finely yourself, that's the best way to go because it'll melt faster. You can see how quickly it's melting here, and it's not even on the stove. And I will probably put it into the microwave oven for just a second to get that cheese melted all the way down. And I'll show you what it looks like once that happens. And that's it. So as you can see, I've put a sleeve of Ritz Crackers there for everybody. And then also, if you want a low carb option, a little bit healthier, go with some of these nice slices of bell pepper that you have left from the peppers that you put in there. And it is Christmas time, so I'm going to add a little more festivity to the top here with some bell peppers. And if you're not familiar with bell peppers, you know, it's not going to be perfect. They're very mild, so don't worry about any super spice on that part. But that'll give it just a little bit of a festive color and everything. And we really want to thank you for coming to the 12 Days of Indulgence collaboration. I'd also like to thank Renee at Pike Creek Farm again. Go check out all of the channels. Make sure that you leave a comment in each one of their comment areas so that you have better chances of having your name drawn out of a random drawing at the live giveaway December 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for visiting Big Valley Living.
Like, share, and subscribe. You need to try this recipe. It is really yummy. I love it. See you later, everybody.
Be kind.